Kevin Gausman finished what he started in helping the Blue Jays to a series victory against the Astros north of the border. MLB Game Night, every game, every night, and we are underway.
When that final out is made, you know it's time for Locked On MLB Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. Prepare to experience game day reactions like never before. Only on Locked On MLB Game Night. Your team every day.
And we are off and running and ready to have a little fun with you. MLB Game Night, every game, every night. He is Lindsay Crosby, host of the Locked On Braves postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. You can follow Lindsay on the X at Crosby Baseball. I'm Steve Lenox, host of the Locked On Red Sox postcast. You can follow me on the X at Lenox on Baseball. Lindsay, Braves off, Red Sox off, but we got extra innings as the Angels and Mariners played deep into the night in Seattle. We get into that. Aaron Judge, a couple of home runs. Yankees able to avoid being swept at home by the Tigers. Jesus Luzardo for the Phillies had a rough start, but after he got through the first inning against the Mets, he dominated over the next 7 innings. Our latest Locked On MLB Game Night postcast. Yeah, I threw postcast in there. We are presented by 5 Hour Energy. Enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. It does exclude the Masters tournament. Ends October 31, 2025. We're going to hear from Eric Heisman, Locked On Astros, in just a moment. But Lindsay, Kevin Gausman was the story in Toronto Thursday afternoon. Went the distance with a shutout, 6-0 the final. Gausman's numbers, I mean, he was a strike-throwing machine. 4th career complete game, 2nd career shutout, 2nd shutout in 2 years for the right-handed veteran.
And not only was it that, it was a Maddox, 100 pitches to get through the outing. And his 79 strikes, that is the highest strike percentage for any Blue Jays starting pitcher in a game in franchise history. Just
wow.
Complete, 2 hits, both of them are singles. He walked 1, 9 punchies, just complete domination. And it just continues a hot streak for him. He's given up 2 runs or less in 6 of his last 7 outings. Just in great form as they get towards the postseason.
Yeah, save the bullpen. That is a huge shot in the arm as they go into the weekend. 8th shutout win of the season for the Jays pitching staff. Gausman, Lindsay, has been involved in 3 of those. This is a guy, again, might have been on the trade block in recent years, but the Blue Jays helped him. And I think if they're going to go deep in the American League playoffs, I say deep, ALCS. World Series, you get there, that's gravy for me. Obviously, that's the goal. But he's going to be a big factor come October for the Blue Jays. And again, I think at some point he was on the trade block. They keep him, and both sides getting rewarded for it.
Yeah, they've got, he's clearly your game 1 starter. You've got him, and then you've got Chris Bassett, and you have to kind of pick, right? Jose Barrios, Shane Bieber, what does he look like at that point? It's a good Max Scherzer. It's a good problem to have, but Kevin Gausman right now, the way he's pitching, you would take him against almost anybody in baseball in game 1. And you'd be like, yeah, they got a shot to win because he's going to guide him through a quality start in the postseason.
With the loss for the Astros, they dropped 2 out of 3 in Toronto to the Blue Jays. They're now tied for first with the Mariners in the AL West. We'll get into the Angels-Mariners and another extra inning game for the Mariners a bit later on here on MLB Game Night. But right now, let's hear from Eric Heisman and get his perspective on the Astros side.
It's hard to predict what the Houston Astros offense will do one game to another game. They win yesterday, but they lost today. They got shut out basically by Kevin Gausman, only got 2 hits in a game. Unfortunately, the Astros pitching wasn't up to par. So now the Mariners, they are playing a little bit later tonight. But if they win, they can tie the Houston Astros for first in the AL West. So the Astros have let the Mariners back in to the fight, and so now they have to play the Braves on Friday. The starter for that game is TBA, likely going to be JP France or somebody else. So the Houston Astros have put themselves in a situation where their backs are against the wall. We'll talk about this and more on tonight's Locked On Astros podcast.
Eric mentioned it. They're 2-7 in their last 9. The final leg of their road trip comes against the Braves this weekend. Kind of give us a little peek at that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's Atlanta's got Hurston Waldrop going in this series. He's been one of their best young starters in the second half. Bryce Elder has put up since the start of August. Bryce Elder is second in baseball in quality starts behind only Shota Imanaga. So, like, it's not as easy to beat a bad team as it normally would be when you're facing these Braves when you have some decent starters. They avoid Chris Sale. Doesn't matter. It's still going to be a tough time offensively for them, especially if they got beat by Kevin Gausman and his splitter tonight. Guess what? They're going to see another splitter in Hurston Waldrop's, which is based off of Kevin Gausman's. He learned from Kevin Gausman how to throw that splitter.
Yankees able to avoid being swept in the Bronx by the Detroit Tigers. Aaron Judge, 2 home runs on Thursday, now tied for the 4th most home runs in Yankees history with the Yankee Clipper. Joe DiMaggio will have more on that in a moment, but we hear from Brian McKeon, one of our co-hosts here on MLB Game Night, and also one of the contributors to Locked On Yankees.
Big win for the Yankees as they somewhat salvage a series. Still a loss to the Tigers, but at least you get the last win of the series. I'm Brian McKeon from Locked On Yankees, and Cam Schledler gives you a nice bounce-back performance. Only 1 earned run given up, and plus Aaron Judge, 2 home runs to move himself tied with Joe DiMaggio on the all-time list for Yankees in home runs. Somewhat of a historic night, a nice win, a 9-run win. Could have used some of those wins earlier on in the series, but hey, they got the win. Their record is fine in this 12-game stretch. They'll move on to Boston to finish out this most defining stretch of the New York Yankees season.
Lindsay, if you're the Tigers, are you more confident leaving the Bronx, winning 2 out of 3 in this series?
I think the way you did it, right? You outscored them 23-3. If this is something where you struggled and barely beat the Yankees, I think that'd be different. It's really hard to argue this was anything other than like domination in the first 2 games, and then you drop game 3. Okay, you won the first 2 by 20 runs. So I think in that situation, you feel pretty good about it, and you have to feel the confidence of like, yeah, we are legitimately one of, if not the best teams in the American League.
Yankees pick up a half game for that top wild card spot in the American League over the Red Sox. Yankees now move on to Boston, 3-game series. Red Sox have owned this season series with the Yankees so far, and I think both teams are lined up nicely in terms of their starting rotations. Giolito, Bello, Crochet, the 3 on the Boston Red Sox side. For the Yankees, you've got Heel, Fried, and then the rookie Warren going in the finale on Sunday, and that's Sunday Night Baseball.
My only complaint there is I wish we got Fried versus Crochet on Sunday night. Right, to get the lefties, the top of the rotation guys battling, but Fried doesn't like to get extra rest. They probably didn't want to bump him to Sunday. He wants to be on his routine, so he's pitching on Saturday. But still, fantastic matchups in all 3 days.
I think we've touched on Trent Grisham, career year in his walk year for the Yankees. Jazz Chisholm on Thursday, a couple of hits, 2 RBIs, a run, a stolen base. Who could you see contributing more, Chisholm or Grisham, for this lineup come October?
I think I'm going to say Chisholm because he gives you the speed element, 1.
Yeah.
But then 2, he can do so many other things defensively. Grisham plays center field. He's not actually a great center fielder. Like, he can be out there, but he's destined for a corner pretty soon. But you can put Jazz virtually anywhere. He's played second. He's played third. He came up as a shortstop. He's been a Gold Glove caliber center fielder. I just feel like Jazz can impact the game in more ways. Now, maybe Grisham has the bigger impact, but Jazz has more ways with which he can contribute. He's a good base runner. He can steal. So many things he can do. He really is a guy they needed in that lineup when they made that trade, just for the versatility and the athleticism he gives them.
Tigers move on to Miami. 3-game series with the Marlins underway Friday night in Miami. Skubal, Alcantara, that has the makings of a very good pitching matchup. The Yankees didn't get Skubal in the series. Instead, he gets the opener against the Marlins.
Alcantara's been better recently. He's been finding the form down the stretch. So getting the reigning Cy Young winner and a former Cy Young winner together, that's going to be a must-watch TV.
The Phillies. What can you say about the Phillies? They now have an 11-game lead over the Mets in the National League East. Let's leave it at this, Lindsay. The Phillies on Thursday night adding to the Mets' misery. That's next. It's MLB Game Night.
It's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This great ginger and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite with a non-alcoholic boost. It's perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends because it's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever needing to leave the green. Because golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape ginger lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best part of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the beverage cart. And now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament that's not the Masters in the United States. So tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Today's episode is also brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, jumping in live as the action unfolds. I like to go and do the opposite of my fantasy team, so that way I either win my fantasy matchup or I hit on my FanDuel prop. It's kind of a good way to hedge my bets and make sure something goes right for me on Sunday. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet.
I want to set this up a little bit. I invested zero time in Mets Phillies Thursday night. Mets were up 4-0 after the first half inning against Jesus Luzardo. I had the Yankees game on against the Tigers, and I really focused on that one. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but for somebody who, my attention gets, drawn into other things very easily. 4-0 Met lead. All of a sudden I see it. It's 6-4 Phillies. I said, thank you very much. We'll move on. We're going to hear from Connor Thomas, who's very happy. We're going to hear from Ryan Finkelstein, who's not very happy at all. In fact, Ryan is going to tell us about the Mets hitting rock bottom. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. The Mets are up 4-0. The story becomes after the first inning, Jesus Luzardo got the final out in the first inning, did not allow another base runner, retired 21 in a row. Like Gausman, he went 8 innings, and again, taking care of that bullpen, giving everyone except Johan Duran the night off.
This had, to your point, this had the makings of one of those, we're not going to get swept. We're just going to score a bunch early. And then the Mets just couldn't figure it out. And Jesus Luzardo got into his groove. And I think that shows, one, how dangerous the Phillies can be, right? Even when they get punched in the mouth, they can come back. But that also shows just how flawed this Mets team has become in the second half. I saw the stat the other day. They have one of the lowest post-All-Star break winning percentages in baseball. They're 21-29 right now. And when they were 55-42 in the first half, the only reason they're still a playoff team is they're coasting on that first half. And this was kind of an example of everything worked out. They got Soto and Alonso up in the ninth and just could not get it done.
Yeah, we'll touch more on that on the other side. But right now, let's hear from Connor Thomas, Locked On Phillies. Connor's smile, ear to ear.
Phillies come back in Game 4 and complete the 4-game sweep of the Mets. What a series for the Fighting Phils. I'm Connor Thomas, your host of Locked On Phillies. Jesus Luzardo starts the night and looks rough. And then all of a sudden just decided, hey, I'm going to be unhittable and throw 8 complete innings and shut down the Mets for a large majority of this game. That's absurd what he did tonight after a rough start. The Phillies offense coming back from down 4-0, scoring 6 unanswered. Otto Kemp with 3 RBIs in the game. Harrison Bader, he's a Mets killer. I mean, this whole team is just playing incredible baseball right now. And then at the end, you get Johan Duran with the heart of the Mets order up, and he retires them all on strikes and makes Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, and Marte look just flat out silly. Like they didn't have a chance. I love this baseball team. We'll talk about the sweep on the next episode of Locked On Phillies.
We love Connor Thomas. He's done a great job all season long with his recaps here for MLB Game Night. And there's no hyperbole in there. This team's playing well. Season high 27 games over 500, 11-game lead in the NL East. When this was nip and tuck, back and forth, who's in first, who's in second. If you didn't like the standings, wait a couple of days, the Phillies would overtake the Mets. Since they last overtook the Mets, they have just continued on the upward trend.
Yeah, I mean, they have a stumble here and there. Like, to be completely honest, they're not perfect, but they are probably the most complete team in the National League simply because, unlike the Brewers, they can reliably hit for power as well. The Brewers can pop some home runs, but Philly has the rotation with Duran back there. They now have the bullpen. They have the offense. They have the power production. It's everything you look for in the postseason. And they're peaking at the right time. To your point, 17-7 since August 18th.
I'd feel a lot better with Zach Wheeler. I wish him nothing but best health going forward, but I'd feel a lot better. So we got Connor. Let's hear on the other side of this one because it is bleak right now for the Mets. And with that, Ryan Finkelstein has the update on the Mets side.
New York Mets have hit a new rock bottom, getting swept by the Phillies in a 4-game set. And in the final game, boy, did they let one get away. This is Ryan Finkelstein, the host of Locked On Mets. If you're watching early on Thursday night, the Mets scored 4 runs in the top of the first inning. Felt pretty good about their chances to win that game, but Jesus Luzardo gets a line drive hit back at him that he's able to turn into a double play to get out of that first inning, and it starts a string of 22 consecutive batters that he retired to finish off that outing. 8 innings for Jesus Luzardo, who gave up 4 in the first, but nothing more after that. And David Peterson was good early, but slowly but surely, he started to let go of that rope, started to struggle, gave up 3 runs, was out of the game in the 5th inning, and Reed Garrett came in and blew the game. The Mets end up losing and getting swept by the Phillies, and this is clearly the new rock bottom for this team. The only positive to that is maybe there's nowhere else to go but up. There's a homestand coming up, 9 games at Citi Field that very well could determine the Mets season. They got to get back on track soon. I guess the only good thing to take from this now, at least they don't have to play the Phillies again this season.
Good point. The Mets are home for 9, as Ryan said. They open up with 3 against the Rangers, who are playing for a lot right now as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's they need everything to go right, and it just feels like right now the pitching was really good in the first half. The offense has been good in the second half, and the pitching's fallen off. And now that the young kids are starting to come up and give them meaningful innings, the offense is falling back off again. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, it doesn't feel like they're going to make it, but at the same time, who else in the National League is going to catch them? I mean, that the National League, everybody is just convinced they don't want that last wild card spot. And so by virtue of inertia, because the Mets have it, they're going to keep it. That's what it feels like right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's got the makings of this being an ugly 9-game homestand. 3 with the Rangers, 3 with San Diego, 3 with the Nationals. It's not going to be easy. And really, I mean, you hope for it. They're 9 games. So you hope 5-4 would be great. Yeah. 4-5 actually wouldn't be the worst in the world because
4-5 would be an improvement over what they've done since the All-Star break.
Yes. I don't know what to make of this game, how much time we spend on it. We'll just let it flow here organically. Mariners, a walk-off victory in the series finale against the Cardinals on Wednesday. Their bullpen just absolutely spent. They walk off in 12 Thursday night, beat the Angels in the opener 7-6. Harry Ford, 4th big league game, doesn't have a big league hit on his resume yet, but brought in the winning run with a sacrifice fly with the bases loaded. And the Mariners do win this game. And with that victory, they're now tied for first with the Astros in that AL West. Who wants the West as the Mariners have now won 6 straight?
I never once thought the Astros were not going to win this because the Astros seemingly always win this.
Right.
And the Mariners this year, unlike every other year, won't go away. They do things like this. Every time the Angels scored, they were able to come back and score as well. Harry Ford, it's hard to play your young stud catcher when you have a young stud catcher who leads baseball in homers in Cal Raleigh, but they're finding ways to get him involved. Still doesn't have a hit, but got the RBI here. I hope he got the ball Because like
Yeah.
it's not his first hit, but it's his first RBI and it's his first
Right.
walk-off in the majors. Like, did he get the ball? I don't know what happened there, but it feels like they have the pitching and
Yep, and we
enough
said that,
power potential to be a threat here against the Astros.
Mariners did have a 4-0 lead. They got 4 in the second. Mike Trout actually tied the game with a solo home run. He tied the game at 4 in the fifth inning. Trout, number 21 on the season, 399 of his career. It was his first home run since early August. August 6th, he had gone 125 at-bats between home runs.
He needed that. Mike Trout's still always going to be one of the greatest players of this generation, but he's really looked human in a way he has not looked this season. It's been a little interesting to watch at times, but you have to hope that maybe this is the end of the season. He can kind of get right, have a full healthy offseason, and do it next year.
Let's move the 2 games that we had at the end of segment number 2 to segment number 3. The Orioles do finish off a sweep against the Buccos in Charm City. The Padres with another shutout win and another shutout win against the Colorado Rockies. Go figure. Well, the details next. It's MLB Game Night.
You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There are so many products out there. It's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. And that's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Because Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. This is a supplement that's clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shedding with a proactive approach. Whether you're at work, out with friends, or even just getting ready in the morning, Nutrafol gives you more confidence in your daily routine. And you can feel good about it knowing Nutrafol is NSF certified and backed by peer-reviewed studies. So, see thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol's offering Locked on MLB listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. When you go to Nutrafol.com, enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB.
Into Friday, we've got 3 more weekends of Major League Baseball's regular season. Lindsay and I continue now with our third segment. Pirates-Orioles gets us underway. And, the Orioles take the series. They win all 3. Dylan Beavers, game-winning hit. Lindsay in extras Wednesday night delivered the RBI base hit with an infield knock in the 7th inning on Thursday. That put the Orioles up 3-2. Orioles have won 3 in a row, 8 of 9. We're going to hear from Gary from Locked On Pirates in just a moment, but the Pirates now are sort of in a tailspin going in the opposite direction. Am I right or wrong? And I could very well be wrong here, but just last week, weren't we talking about the Pirates and maybe finishing up strong? And they were actually in a winning stretch of games. Not so right now.
I think we had hope because of how dominant they were. They were able to shut some teams out, and they actually think they actually had a series sweep. But you still have offensive questions with this club. And unlike the Orioles, who have gotten a ton of young position players, Dylan Beavers has the game when has the infield single tonight. The Pirates, it's all been pitching, and they just don't have any offense. And I feel like you can win games with a lot of offense and not a ton of pitching. You can just win a shootout. It's a lot harder to win the game if you don't have any offense. Like the Orioles scored 3 runs today, and they won the game.
And they won
it's
the game.
just like, and both teams weren't great with runners in scoring position, but the Orioles got 3 one-run wins because the Pirates just could never get one additional run across. And that's always going to be their issue until they can fix that.
We've seen Gary with Locked On Pirates, Lindsay, this season, ecstatic, very happy, also realistic. And right now they're in a tailspin. So recent weeks, we've seen him wear Steelers jerseys, getting ready for the NFL season. That's now underway. Now look at the jerseys he's wearing as he gives us the report from Thursday's game. Go Pens.
Nice of the Orioles to not make us watch an extra inning of this series. I mean, this is Gary from Locked On Pirates. Really bad series for the Bucks. Listen, they didn't hit. They pitched. They were in every one of these games. They lost every one of these games by 1 run. Baltimore is in no way, shape, or form a juggernaut this year. Certainly not pitching like one. It just disappeared. Alexander Canario, signs of life, a home run today. He's looked good in the rare opportunities they've given him to actually play, which would beg the question, why don't you see him a little more often? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of beyond asking those questions because it almost doesn't matter who they plug in. They're just not getting the job done, really. Universally, they're not hitting. Brian Reynolds 0 for this series, and he's been turning it around recently, so very frustrating series for him. And a lot of the time, as he goes, so does the Pirates' offense. Not a very fun state of affairs right now, but it is what it is. More tomorrow morning on Locked On Pirates.
2 for 28 with runners in scoring position for the series. Just, you had opportunities.
Yeah. That's a lot of opportunities right there, in so many different ways. 1 for 10 in the finale. Yeah, as you said, 2 hits, 28 opportunities with runners on base. It gets better, but they need the bats to really start to mature for 2026. We've touched on that. It's not a broken record, but certainly obvious. Orioles this weekend in Toronto, maybe the best pitching matchup of the weekend. Trevor Rogers 8-2, 151 against Chris Bassett in Friday's opener, as the Orioles can play a little spoiler role here over the weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of other AL East teams who are rooting for Baltimore just to see if they can, the Yankees, the Red Sox, if they can maybe somehow catch Toronto. I don't think they will, but they're probably hoping they can. And if nothing else, maybe just bring them, get them a little bit cold right before the postseason gets here.
Guardians take the finale at home in Cleveland, 3-2 Thursday night against the Royals. Guardians have now won 6 of 7. Vinny Pasquantino had a home run in the first inning for the Royals, and that's all they got. There was a hero on the other side for the Guardians, and Justin Latta, Locked On Guardians, tells us who it was.
Win or lose, playoffs or no playoffs in 2025, the Cleveland Guardians are giving a lesson in resilience, and they have learned a lot along the way. No bigger lesson than on Thursday night against the Kansas City Royals. Justin Latta here of Locked On Guardians. Colin Joseph Kafis has struggled a little bit since a great start to his career when he was called up in August. Obviously, that's not really a surprise. A lot of rookies do go through that. But hits the 2-run go-ahead home run in the 8th inning when the Guardians couldn't get anything going offensively all night. Only had 1 run to speak of. Biggest home run of the season. Biggest home run of his career so far. A lot of resilience coming back. Kyle Manzaro, a couple hard hit balls. Hey, even give credit to Bo Naylor, who had a couple of hits and scored that run to bring up CJ Kafis to give them the go-ahead run. Gavin Williams gave up 2 runs in the first inning and 4 hits. Didn't give up a hit the rest of the way. We have seen Gavin Williams have those poor starts, and they crumble, and they kind of just sink as he goes on. He can't recover. Didn't do that in this game. And those are the lessons the Guardians are taking this year going forward. Hopefully in the next year, hopefully whatever happens the rest of this season. We're going to talk more about it on Locked On Guardians. Be there.
They are 4 over 500 right now.
Yeah, it really does feel like this is more of we have to get ready for next season. They are 3.5 games out of the wild card, and that is with a tie at the very back of the wild card. Obviously, Astros or Mariners, one will take the division, one will have that. But they've got to leap a couple teams. They have to get past some other teams to get there. I just don't feel like they're going to do it because another offensive issue with this team. They don't have the offense, which they had early in the year. That's how they got into playoff position, but they just don't have it right now.
Yeah, Padres now 2.5 games back of the Dodgers in the NL West. Win the opener against the Rockies at Petco 2-0 on Thursday. The Padres, they're scuffling to score runs, but their pitching staff, when it's on, it's on. They've scored 2 runs or less 6 times in their last 11 games. 16th shutout win of the season for San Diego pitching. Lindsay, I'll have you go through some of the pitchers as the bullpen was just terrific. 3 relievers, nothing doing, 7th inning on. 16 shutouts for the Padres pitching staff. 5 now, including a 21-0 victory against the Rockies at Coors Field back in May. 5 of their shutouts against Colorado this season.
I mean,
they count.
They do count. It's the bullpen. I mean, yes, Randy Vasquez was really great. 6 innings, 4 hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts. That's always the big thing for him, is not giving up free passes. But when you can throw Jeremiah Estrada, Mason Miller, Robert Suarez, that is probably the best 3-man back end of the pen in baseball right now. And so we talked about this with the Yankees and their trade deadline moves. Shorten the game up. You just got to give us 5 good innings. We'll get to those back 3, and we will take care of the rest of it. And they did it here. Like I do not want to face San Diego in the postseason. If I was any team who thought like, hey, one of our things we've been good at is rallying late, good luck doing it against the Padres.
And that's sort of that who wants that third wild card as well of, it's still part of, do we just want to play a wild card series, be on the road, losing 2 and we're out? Is that really a postseason appearance? I do believe it is, but you've got to face the Padres. If they're one of the wild card teams, good luck to you, because in a short series like that, they can, they're just set up. If their starter goes 6 and they really don't have to, but if they can go 6 or into the 7th inning, it could very easily be over. Rockies shut out for the 16th time this season. I mentioned 5th time by the Padres. They've lost 6 in a row, 3 wins in their last 20, and hey, it's going to be over soon. Nationals, Marlins. Marlins got Ryan Weathers back. They lost the first 2 games of the series, but they come back, and again, they show you something. There's always a little fight. There's fighting both of these teams down to the end. I'd like to see them both finish strong over the final 2+ weeks of the season. I think I've been saying that for a while now.
Yeah, coming off the IL for Ryan Weathers and immediately getting through the outing with no walks was big. I know I just said that for somebody else too, but he was one of those guys, tons of promise. The velo looked good. He just had to get it in the zone. He absolutely did that. The bullpen started to look better for them. They traded some guys away. The arrow's up for the Marlins. I don't know if the arrow's up for the Nationals right now.
White Sox take the finale and win the series 2-1. They take the finale at home against the Rays 5-1. It feels like we hear the name Colson Montgomery almost on a night-in, night-out basis for Chicago.
Colson Montgomery, Kyle Teal, those 2 guys, that's the future of the offense. We saw it here. Montgomery got the scoring started, 2-run single in the first. Kyle Teal was a pinch hitter in the 6th. 2-run single there. He's now reached in 20 straight games. Colson Montgomery's been hitting tons of homers. It is like those 2 guys right there. That is the makings of a really good offensive roster if they can just get a little support around them.
Lindsay, we've done it again. No matter if there's 9 games on the slate or 15 total games like we'll have on Friday and Saturday, we take it right to the end. We'll be back tomorrow night. Final thought real quick.
I love some of these pitching matchups, and I'm just excited to see what the Blue Jays do over the weekend. And then Red Sox, Yankees, the pitching matchups there. Again, I wanted Fried versus Crochet, but I still like this series.
MLB Game Night, part of the Locked On Podcast Network and available wherever you get your podcast. MLB Game Night, every game, every night.